Carnival Cruise Lines possibly banned from all U.S. ports? Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Justin, and welcome to a special edition of Shiplife. So in today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different and going over some pretty interesting ship news that's going around at the moment. So what's happening is a judge by the name of Patricia Seats is deciding on possibly banning all 106 Carnival Cruise Line ships from docking in the US of A. So it is a pretty interesting subject. So we're going to go ahead and jump on it. I'm going to be going over exactly just a little bit more in depth as far as what's happening, why it's happening, and who could possibly be affected by it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on it and let's get started, shall we?
Let's go!
Alright, so before we jump on to today's episode, real quick guys, I just want to go ahead and let you know that I have officially started my Shiplife Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and leave the name right here so you guys can go ahead and give me a follow. As I've said before, this new account on Instagram will feature things like general ship information, ship news, crew insider jokes, and above all, free giveaways. Alright, all my giveaways for the most part until I figure out something else will be taking place on Instagram. So make sure you guys go ahead and give that a follow, and I promise you guys will not be disappointed. Also, I'll leave it on there in case you guys want to contact me, ask any questions or anything like that. My email will also be available for that as well. Now, let's jump on to today's subject. So a federal judge may be potentially stopping Carnival Cruise Lines from docking in all U.S. ports. In 2017, Carnival Cruise Lines was put on a 5-year probation for allegedly doing things like dumping gray water into the ocean, littering the ocean, and prepping before audits, which is not okay. Now, apparently, 2 years into their probation, they are back at it. In case you guys don't know what gray water is any wastewater that doesn't include sewage. So once all that nasty stuff that comes out of our body goes into the water, it is known as black water. And it's not what is being dumped into the ocean, it's gray water. So let's make that clear. Now, it's no secret. Everyone knows that Carnival has had its history of mishaps and craziness go on throughout the years. But one fact still remains, Carnival is indeed the biggest, largest cruise line in existence as far as their company is concerned. Carnival has 106 ships alone, and it also has its break-off companies as well, such as Costa, Princess Cruises, Ada, Holland America, the list goes on and on. Now, this is no excuse by any means, but to a degree there has to be some understanding that when you have a company that is that large, things are gonna happen. So the fact does remain that Carnival is messing up, violating probation and doing things that shouldn't be done in the first place. So the question of the day is what's about to happen or what could potentially happen justified? To a certain degree, of course it is, 100%. When you start doing things like dumping oil into the ocean, when you're dumping gray water into the ocean, when you're littering the ocean, or when you're just affecting the ecosystem in any way, honestly, I personally believe that that is not cool. I know most people these days, I mean, just in the era that we live in with the digital era and just how fast things are moving, people don't really care so much about what's happening to our planet. And don't get me wrong, I'm not Captain Planet or something like that. But, you know, in a lot of cultures, there are beliefs that humans are like a plague to the world. We are destroying it. And honestly, like me living in Florida, I hate going to the beach and seeing bottles and cans and dead fish wash up on shore because of something that we did. To me, that's not okay. And if something isn't done to stop it, there is no telling what could happen in the future. You got to think about that. Now, in also thinking about these punishments, you also have to be mindful about the other side of things. What will happen if that does go through? You got to think about what will be the aftermath of it all. You know, you're talking about things like possible, destructions of economies. A lot of these islands and stuff and ports that people go to, they rely on the tourism and the cruise ships that come in. So you got to think about things like the crew, the islanders that depend on the economy, the tourism. There's a lot of things that could potentially be affected by this, particularly economies. Like I was saying, that it alone is it sucks, you know. And I don't think that everybody else should have to pay for a decision one company has made. So that being said, I do believe there are definitely other ways to handle the situation. Personally, I've been to islands like Cozumel, for example, both as a crew member on the ship, and I've been there as a visitor when ships weren't even there. It's a whole different vibe. And for a lot of people that live there, the tourism, the cruise ships, and all that is the only way that they make their money. You know, so you got to keep that in mind. Now, do I think Carnival Cruise Line should be punished? Yeah, definitely. You know, this has to be put to a stop. If it isn't stopped, you know, other cruise lines are going to go ahead and follow suit because they know they can save money by just dumping all their trash into the ocean, which is a no-no. You know, I think in the situation, I guess the alternative route would just be to heavily tax or heavily penalize the cruise line, which I know these cruise lines are going to continue making money. So for a lot of them, a decent amount of money as far as fines wouldn't affect them too much. But there has to be some other way. Now, given they are already probably taking a hit with this news alone, if you heard your cruise line that you wanted to go on a cruise with is possibly not being allowed into the States, you're probably not going to book with them, you know? So there are a lot of tourists and people that want to go on vacation that are probably going to book with another cruise line now because of this potential news alone, which again is going to be a hard hit. So, I mean, honestly, that's all I have to say on the situation. I believe something should be done, but, you know, I guess time will tell what happens. That's all I have to say on the matter. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. And if you guys found this new edition of Ship News brought to you by Shiplife, go ahead and give me a subscription along with a like below. And also, please let me know what your thoughts are on this. Let me know what your thoughts are as far as how you guys feel about me doing ship news. Let me know what you think about this situation that's going on with Carnival Cruise Lines. You can always hit me up in the drop box below. You can email me. I would prefer it if you guys go ahead and give me a follow on my new Instagram and hit me up on there. I would do my best to get back to everybody like I always do. Once again, guys, thank you. And I will see you guys on Sunday with the debut of my new series, The Pursuit. So stay tuned. Peace.